What's going on, YouTube? This is Luke with Endless Entrepreneurs coming to you with another video. Decided to do a little shipping vlog update, kind of what sold on eBay over the Memorial Day weekend. Haven't done one of these in a little while. Know the viewership might be a little low. Everyone's spending time with their families and such, but figured wrapping up, getting ready to start the week, it'd be good to review what sold. Hopefully you guys had awesome sales for Memorial Day. It's been kind of up and down for me depending on the day and the time. For those of you new to my channel, I am a part-time eBay seller and a full-time corporate finance analyst. Build my business in my spare time. I specialize in men's clothing, sell pretty much every type of men's clothing item. I've been doing it for quite a while now. So what the format of these videos I like to do is just go through each item I'm getting ready to pack up for the weekend and ship out tomorrow morning, show you guys what sold, what brand sold, what I bought it for, you know, what my profit was, kind of so you have an idea what to be on the lookout for if you are a reseller or are looking to get into reselling. Hopefully this will be valuable. And then at the end, once I'm done through that, we'll do some Q&A and just chat and see how the weekend's going. I'm going to switch over here to the chat and just check on how things are going. Hopefully I'm sounding okay. Hi, Terry. Hi, Anna. Hi, Stacy. Thanks for stopping in, guys. Hi, Shanta. Hopefully everyone had an awesome weekend. The weather's been great down here in Charlotte. We've enjoyed a lot of sunshine. Got to go golfing yesterday with Shannon. I got to lay by the pool a lot, so it's been pretty awesome. So I'm going to jump right in, guys. I like to get the content early, and then we'll do some Q&A and chat afterwards. So let me just jump in. This was a pretty sweet item I sold. It's by the brand Barbour, B-A-R-B-O-U-R, but it's a Steve McQueen collection, and it's a pearl snap shirt. I know with a poly bag you can't see the label because it's kind of a weirder one. But this sold for $39.99. I picked it up for $4 at Goodwill. It'll ship first class, great flip. Be on the lookout. Barbour in general is a good brand. These pearl snap shirts, and when they're specialized like with the Steve McQueen type collection, they sell even better. So be on the lookout for that. It's the first time I've ever found anything like that. I've had it for probably, I don't know, maybe 2 months-ish. And so I got $39.99 full price. It was on sale at the time. So these are my bread and butter items, Brooks Brothers. And this is just a non-iron. It's a blue and like yellow kind of window pane check type pattern. Sold this, took the best off for $18. I'm in this for $4. So, you know, just kind of that middle of the road, not a huge profit, but steady. And you kind of need those to keep your business going. You can't always have home runs. This, and guys, if you see, I have the poly bags and the other ones. That's how I store my inventory with the numbers. If you're new to my channel, this is how I used to do it. I do not recommend doing this. This is before I started using poly bags. I'm lucky the material here isn't ripping off, but sometimes this tape can cause damage after it's been on for a really long time. So highly recommend don't mark your inventory with this. This was oversight on my part. But this is English Laundry. Sold this for $17.50. I did run a 30% off sale this weekend just to kind of jumpstart sales because I knew it might be a little slower with the holiday. So I knew I was going to sacrifice a little bit of margin, but I was okay with that to keep things moving. But this is one of those flip cuff shirts. It's got like, I don't know if you can see because it's black, but it's got like a satin, like a floral paisley type pattern to it. But in this for $4. I haven't had this particular, well, this one's probably I've had for maybe 5 months, 6 months maybe. I think that was about when I started doing poly bags, maybe a little longer actually, maybe like 8 or 9 now that I think about it. Time kind of flies. Here's another one, similar thing. Should not have done this. I've had this one for quite a while. But this is the Slim Fit. So Brooks Brothers is non-iron and Slim Fit. I only pick them up if they're non-iron. If they're Slim Fit, it's just a bonus. And this is just a blue and white stripe. It's got the Oxford collar in it for $4. Similar to the other one, took a best offer for $17 for this. Happy to move it this weekend with kind of those slower sales. Definitely a steady item. This is a brand of jeans that I just started picking up when the price is right and if the size is desirable. It's called Vigos, I think, or Vigos. It's V-I-G-O-S-S. I know you might not be able to see that poly bag. But the women's jeans, these sold for $22.99. They're on sale. They sold full price. I'm in these for $5. They will ship flat rate for me for about $6. For those of you who follow me, you know I love to sell blazers. This is a Joseph A. Banks signature gold line. I know I can't really show you the label because it's in here. It's just navy blue. It's like a woven pattern. And their signature gold line is the highest real end line that Joseph A. Bank has. I really only pick up that line now. I don't pick up anything lower than that. And this was, I believe, was a 46XL, so it was a bigger size. It was a little more desirable. Took a best offer of $40. I'm in this for $5. This will probably ship, I'm guessing, regional A box. So probably right around like $6, $7, $8, depending on where it's going. This is a pair of new with tags Polo Ralph Lauren dress pants. You can kind of see the tag sticking out here. This was definitely from like one of their outlet stores. I could tell from the tag. It definitely didn't look like their normal. I mean, it did look like their normal tag, but you definitely had the extra one saying that's from the outlet. So this for $28. Probably could have held out for in the mid 30s. But the market is a little more saturated with Polo Ralph Lauren new with tag stuff. So I was happy to move this, especially on the holiday weekend. I was only in this for $4. Found it at a Goodwill. So this will go flat rate for $6. Really nice flip there. This is another one. I found a group of these. Is it Rain Spooner, I believe is how you pronounce it. R-E-Y-N and Spooner at the end there. These are Hawaiian shirts. This one is just I think it's a cotton poly blend. These are made in Hawaii. I found like 12 of them on a rack altogether months ago. And a bunch of them are Christmas themed. So I've been I priced them really high. And I'm just going to hold on until fourth quarter because I know they'll sell. Like the vintage Christmas theme ones in this brand go really, really long on fourth quarter, like $60, $70, $80, depending on the ones you have and the year they're from. So I'm hanging on to these. This is just a standard one. It wasn't a Christmas. I sold it for $30. It was going to Japan. I normally would have waited a little longer to get like $35, $40, but I knew he was going to pay the global shipping program. And it was probably going to be outrageous. And the fact he was offering $30, I was like, that's great. You know, I'll take that. So in it for $4 and sold it for $30. This was a linen Tommy Bahama. It's a short sleeve shirt. And it's really interesting. It's got the word sample on this. I'm pretty sure it's a sample shirt that was probably given or used at a trade show maybe or something like that. I did disclose that in the listing and sold it for, took a best offer of $17.50 for it. It was on, I think it was on sale for like $18.50 or 18 something because I was running that 30% off sale. So I was happy to move that in it for $4. Kind of a bread and butter type item. Another English Laundry. This is a more unique one. It's called People's Army. It was like the line within it. It's like a beige and navy blue. It's got the flip cuffs, the plaid. In it for $4, and it's all cotton. And I took a best offer of $16.50, which is a little low. It kind of drives down my average sell price. But again, I took the strategy going into this weekend that I was willing to take a little less margin to keep sales moving because I wasn't sure how this weekend was going to be to close out the month. Here is Lucky Brand. This is, I've had this for a decent amount of time. I don't pick these up anymore, really. They're really slow movers. But this sold for $17.99. It's like green with like a white, like almost like a barbed wire pattern to it. It's a pearl snap Western shirt in it for $4. So, you know, decent flip, kind of that middle of the road price point. This is the item, if anyone watched the show from last night over on 10K on the Bay, Chris's channel there. We did our first show over on his channel. And I referenced that I had sold something using best offer that I've had up for like 22 months. And it's this soccer jersey. I've had it up forever. And it just didn't move. I don't know why it wasn't moving. I don't know if it's, you know, not official or I'm not really sure. But either way, took a best offer $15. I was happy to move it. I'm in it for $4. I've had it forever. I was just happy to get, you know, make a little bit of profit and get that out of my inventory. So. This is a Tommy Bahama. This is another, it's 100% linen. Sold this for $19.99. And it's like a yellow. And it does have, I think it has a little bit like a floral design on the back. I can't remember specifically. But linen shirt, linen's selling really hot right now, guys. I mean, with the temperatures rising, people are looking to go on vacation. Linen and silk are selling well, especially if it's like the Hawaiian type stuff. I was in that for $4. Sold a pair of LL Bean pants, and I actually have another pair I sold downstairs. I'll just kind of reference them. But I sold each of these. This one sold, it was on sale because around 30% off sale, so I think it was like 18 something. And same with the other pair, it was like just under $19. So sold 2 pair. I'm in these. These are part of my bulk order. If you're new to my channel or just watching, I've got a bunch of videos on I just bought 3,000 pair of LL Bean new without tags pants, and this is part of the order. So I'm in these for $1.15. They'll ship flat rate for $6, and they sold for just 18 or 17 bucks, I think it was. So good flips there. Got a couple other items, guys, and then we'll switch gears to Q&A. I am going to cut off pretty sharp at 8. I literally have worked all day in the garage, just plowing through that LL Bean order and processing it. And 4 a.m. Wake up starts again tomorrow to finish out that. So I'm going to cut this off at 8, but we will do some Q&A. This is a new tag, Izod polo shirt, just basic cotton. I'm in it for $4. Probably in retrospect wouldn't pick this up again. I don't really remember why I picked this up. I like picking up their dress shirts, the button front new tags, but the cotton polo is just, I got $16 out of this. I mean, honestly, it was probably a bad buy. I really wouldn't do that again, I don't think. But I'm in it for $4. This is a Nordstrom shirt. It is like a purple check, as you can see. It's just a non-iron version. Sold this for $19.99, in it for $4. I really don't pick up Nordstrom that much anymore. The market's, I don't know, just they seem to move really, really slow for me. In it for $4. If I get them cheaper, I probably would, but for $4, I'm not picking up anymore. But I was happy to sell that for $20. Lacoste, your Gator, just sold this today. This is like a weird like green with teal and like blue brown stripes, I guess. In this for $4. Sold it for $18.99 today, so I was happy to move that. And then we have, these are Polo Ralph Lauren. These are like the dungarees. I know you can't probably see through the plastic. No, I can't see. But they're like a beige. They're kind of like a jean style pant, but they're a little lighter weight. These sold for, took a best offer of $20, and these for $4. Sometimes you can get like in the mid-20s for those if they have the pony and it's a nice color. These didn't have the pony on them. So $20 I was happy with. And then, like I said, there's other pair of LL Bean pants downstairs. And I sold another sweater I didn't pick up for my unit because it sold after I went to my storage unit. And it was a lamb's wool. It was like the Polo Ralph Lauren V-neck jumper sweaters. And I sold that for $20. So pretty decent weekend. I mean, oh, actually, sorry. I did sell a board game, and I have it in the other room. Not a typical item for mine. I had used to sell Amazon a long time ago, and I kicked back a bunch of inventory back around Christmas time because I didn't want to get all the long-term storage fees. And it was a in shrink wrap, the Office DVD game set, and I sold it for I think $22 or $24 today. So that as well. So decent sales weekend. It wasn't amazing, but it wasn't terrible. So yeah, I'm gonna jump over to chat here and just see. Looks like there's a lot of comments about the sample shirt. Yeah, I was very careful to do the measurements to make sure they made sense and that they matched up with the size, and they did. And I disclosed that just so that the buyer was aware right up front. See, we got 61 people watching live. Appreciate everyone stopping in. Hopefully you guys had an awesome weekend. How have your guys' sales been for Memorial Day? Have you guys' sales been up or down, kind of all over the place? How's it been for you guys? Stacey just asked, are these sales for the entire weekend, including Friday? Stacey, this is including Friday night. So I went to my storage unit and shipped stuff. So yeah, it was anything Friday night and after, basically, that I hadn't shipped. The clothesline just asked, how do Chaps vests do? I stay away from the brand Chaps unless it's new with tags and it's something I think is desirable. I'll occasionally pick up their dress shirts, their new with tags, if I think that they'll move or it's a great pattern and I get them for cheap. But I pretty much stay away from it as much as I can. Chase the Dream said, what are the top brands that move the quickest? There's just so many, Chase, but I'll just name a couple that I enjoy finding. I love finding Patagonia stuff. It seems to move pretty quickly for me. I love Vineyard Vines. Cool, the brand Cool, Kuhl, is probably my favorite outdoor brand. It 100% sell-through, sells super quick for a nice profit. I mean, then you can switch gears to like the Italian brands. You know, there's Keaton and Baroni and some of those brands you want to be on the lookout for on the more the blazer dress shirt side. R. Warren said, great sales here. Need to ship and dreading it. Close to 30 packages. Wow, nice weekend. Congrats. Yeah, holiday weekends are good and bad. It's like it's nice you don't have to ship, but then like every day. But then it also builds up, and come that Monday, that 3-day weekend, you're like, dang, I have so many packages to ship. This is actually fairly manageable. I thought it'd be worse. But, you know, it is what it is. Let's see. Anthony said he hit 38 sales this month. That's awesome. Good job, Anthony. Thelma just said sold a toy, 2 books, Western shirt, $50 handbag today. Oh, that's a good day. Krillin said, good luck finding Keaton and Brioni. Yeah, I mean, those aren't common, but he asked me what my favorite brands to sell were. So those are the ones I enjoy. I've found Keaton once in a blazer, and I found Brioni quite a few times. Fashion Outlook just asked, are you getting enough sleep? Yeah, actually I am. I've been getting some really good sleep lately. I'm working so hard that I fall right asleep. So I'm not restless or anything, which is really nice. But yeah, I've been getting at least 6 hours every night. Last night I got 8, so I feel pretty good. The clothesline said, how do women's jeans hydraulic and YMI do? Picked up 2 pairs today and listed them. Not sure about YMI. I never picked them up. Hydraulic, I have a couple. If you stay away from the junior sizes, the women's sizes will sell okay for I think low 20s. But I would check out Prof Sales. He's kind of the jean expert. I like to defer to him. Yeah, he probably has a better reference point on that brand specifically. I only have a couple. I've sold 2, I think. NF Picker said he's coming to Charlotte this week for area shopping. Nice. Well, it should be pretty ripe for the picking. I haven't been out much just with this LL Bean order. Hoping to finish up processing the order by Saturday, and then I've got about, I think I have almost 300 Goodwill sourced items to list before I head out on vacation. So that's kind of the goal here for June. Stacy said, I have to say thanks for your videos. Your spreadsheet has motivated me for listing goals. I am 3 away from 300 new items up this month. Stacy, well, first of all, no problem. I appreciate that it's motivating you. It means a lot. 300 new items to list. That's fantastic. Congrats. I mean, that's a lot of volume. So great job, Stacy. That's awesome. Brian Ramsey said, I hit a great estate sale on Friday, snagged 15 Hickey Freeman blazers and suits, and a Zegna blazer, Hickey Freeman Laura Piana, and 15 dress shoes. Wow, great job. That's a huge score. I wish that's awesome. So a couple of things I'll share with you guys, little tidbits about this LL Bean order while we're waiting for more questions to come in here. I think I underestimated how many bins I'm going to need. I was just tallying up how much I've spent on bins since I've been processing this order. It's insane. I mean, I don't mind it at all because I can keep reusing them as my inventory grows, so it's not like it's a sunk cost or anything. But it was just like I just spent like over $100 on bins and an extra table on Saturday when Ben came to help me. I spent like another $80 on bins today. I probably have to spend a couple $100 more on bins for the rest of this week just to make sure I can store everything. So just one of the things that I kind of overlooked. It's not a huge deal at all, but I just thought it was interesting to share with you guys. If you ever do buy bulk, just anticipate how much you need to store it, not just the space, but what you're actually going to put it in. So it's very interesting. Oh, Krellin's given the pronunciation. I'm not even going to try it again, Krellin, because I don't want to embarrass myself. So you guys can see he spelled it phonetically in the chat. So there you are. The clothesline said, do you order your bins off eBay or buy local? I just go to Target. They have these. Let me see the dimensions. Actually, I probably can just show you guys. Let me make sure that I'm actually looking at the chat and not my. So this is what I get right here. So these are, looks like they're 26 inches long. They're 18 wide and about 15 tall. So yeah, I picked these up for $5 at Target. I mean, they hold up well. They do well in the heat, which is important for me since it gets real hot here in the storage units. And they're cheap, they're affordable. So yeah, I just buy them. I usually clear the shelf every time I go in. Like today, there was 14 of them out there. I think they have a ton in the back. They just wait for someone to clear it and then replace it with the Target near me. So. Oh man, that's a really good phonetic spelling, Krillin. Thanks. All right, guys. Well, if we don't have any other questions, I probably will wrap up a little early, but I don't mind chatting for a little longer. I had budgeted kind of in my schedule to talk till 8 if you guys had stuff, but I hadn't done any content about what I've sold and kind of what was going on. I have not abandoned thrifting and things for Goodwill, just so you know. That is going to be still a steady part of my business. I love thrifting, and I really like processing those type of things. I may get pickier. I think that may be what shifts is if I do like a bulk order every other month, I may get pickier in what I source and start getting that average sell price up even more to offset my bulk orders. I've just been thinking about a lot of things like that. I'm not positive what I'm going to do yet, but regardless, for June, I'm definitely going to be listing probably, I would say, 250 items that were locally sourced from Goodwill after my bulk order is done. So, and then I leave for vacation like towards the end of the month, and I'll pretty much be out of pocket for like a week and a half. I do plan on doing, one of them is going to be a road trip, so I will do some thrifting and some footage for you guys during that. But yeah, June's going to be kind of getting back to the basics. There'll be a lot more content around the Goodwill source stuff for sure. Abraham Scott just said, are you looking for your next bulk order? So yeah, I am looking for my next bulk order. Have a couple of leads. I'm not sure exactly which route I'm going to go. I need to keep working it, make sure the price is right, make sure the product's right. I'm trying to find something new with tags if I can. I'd like to experiment with processing that and cross-listing them, but I want to make sure it's new with tags before I do that, and just need to make sure the price is right. I'm also trying to stay away from the quantity I just did. I mean, it was fun and it's cool, but 3,000 was a bit much for that type of item. If it was smaller, like t-shirts or something, I think 3,000 would be a little more manageable, but pants take up a lot of room. So I'd like to get, if I could do 2 pallets, it would be a lot more manageable with the space that I have. Hey Steiner said, have you ever thought about bulk shoes? Definitely thought about it. I think storage gets a little trickier with bulk shoes. If they were new in box, I definitely would, because that would be a lot easier to store. But then again, the price has to be right. Krillin just said, do you ever find vintage clothes down south? Occasionally. I haven't really dabbled in vintage clothes that much. I know there's a lot of money there. I just haven't taken the time to educate myself yet. I know that I need to, and that might be one of the areas I start to branch into as far as learning. But so hopefully that's. Do you find a lot, Krillin, where you are? No problem, Utah. Yeah, Target is the best, in my opinion, is the cheapest place I've found for bins. The clothesline said, do you list per the season more, shorts, etc., or just continue a normal haul? Yeah, I list any type of item any time of year. I don't really discriminate because I take a long tail approach, and it's 10 cents a month. So I'd rather just get it up, forget about it, get it stored, and it sells when it sells. Plus, people will surprise you and buy stuff in weird seasons. Edward Lamborghini said, can you explain reverse engineering for 50K in sales? Well, that's kind of a loaded question, but I'll do my best to kind of give a high-level way to do that. I mean, first, you have to identify what product you want to sell, right? So if you're going to do clothing, hold on, I just want to address Krillin here. Krillin said, Luke, go rewatch the movie Goodfellas. Pay attention to the knits they wear. All right, that's a good lead. Thanks, Krillin. But yeah, Edward, so like it depends what you're selling. So let's just say I'll use clothes, for example, because that's what I'm selling. And what I did to reverse engineer 100K in sales is I picked what I want my average sell price to be. And I had a lot of historical knowledge, so I knew that if I could get my average sell price right around $28 per item, which I thought I could, then I had to sell X amount of items at $28 throughout the entire year. So I get that calculation first. So whether, whatever that number is, I don't have a calculator in front of me, but actually let's just do it right now. So if I wanted to do, so let's say $100,000 let's just do $50,000 in sales. $50,000 in sales, we'll say an average sell price of $25 to keep the math simple. You'd have to sell 2,000 items in a year, Edward, to get to 50K in sales. So now you need to break that down by month. And this is what reverse engineering is, right? We went to the end, we got that 50K sales, we got how many items to get there, the price you had to sell it at for average sell price, divide that by 12 months. So now you need to sell 166 items a month at $25 a piece. And if you break that down, you can break that down daily, weekly, however you need to do it. And then from there, you need to calculate what your sell-through is based on how many items you have up and know how many items you need to have listed, how many items you need to list each month to sustain that, right? Because if you're selling 166, you need to at least replace 166. But to sell 166, like for instance, I have 1,800 items up. I sell about 230 a month. So for 166, you probably got to have 1,300 items up. That means you have to maintain 1,300 items every month and replace those 166 listings every month just to get to that 50K. So hopefully that makes sense, Edward. Obviously, it's cyclical with whatever you're selling. Summer is a little dead. Fourth quarter is a little hot. But that's how I reverse engineer and try to back into stuff. So highly recommend Peter Voog's 6 months to six figures. He has an awesome way to reverse engineer and just the way he goal sets. You should check that out. Just did a video the other night, I think it was Friday, about kind of self-development and books and goals and things like that. There's a link in that video if you want to check it out. The clothesline just asked, how close are you to your 100K goal? On track? Technically, I'm not on track. I'm behind pace if you break it down by month. But I was planning on being behind at this time of year, though, because I knew it was slower. So I'm creeping up on like 30K this year. I think by the end of this month, I'll be close to 30K. I haven't honestly looked in a little bit. I did my sales update video last week, and I think that I was at like 24 or 25. So hopefully I'll finish at like 27 this month. Hopefully by the halfway point of the year, I'll be at like 34. And I'm expecting to pick up that 16K that I'm behind in the quarter four. I think that I'll hopefully more than pick that up there. But we'll see. I mean, I'm just going to keep plugging away. I know what I need to do to get there, and I'm just going to keep going after it. So I'm not too worried about being behind pace at this point, though. Stacey just said, just sold a cashmere wool turtleneck to Texas last week. Yeah, any time of year, you'd be surprised when things will sell. I mean, and think about it. If someone's going on vacation, right? They're going someplace north. They're going someplace a little colder than they're used to. They might buy something for the trip. That's why, and vice versa, someone where it's cold, they're going to someplace warm. That's why I just list things all times of seasons. I don't worry about it. I mean, most of these LL Bean pants I'm listing right now, I know they're not going to sell very quickly the next couple of months, but they're going to really ramp up the back half. Resell Mouse, I'm new to watching your channel. How long have you been selling eBay? Well, first of all, welcome to the channel. I really appreciate you stopping in. I have been selling on eBay for pretty much a decade. since I was like 18, 19, so a little over a decade, I guess. But seriously selling for probably 3 years-ish. And, you know, primarily clothing over the last 3 years. Prior to that, I was doing a lot of like odds and ends and just different little things, a lot of electronics, video games, stuff like that. But yeah, so a little over a decade, I guess. It makes me sound really old when I say that. Krillin just asked if I hit the bins. I have gone to the bins twice. Not really for me. It's definitely profitable. I mean, it's a good business model. It's a great place to source. For me, like, I think because I'm part-time, I like the way the retail stores are set up, and I can just get in and out. I don't have to fight through people and wait for bins to come in and out. I just go see what they have and I leave. And usually, like, I'm sourcing like either during lunch or on the way home from work. And so if I had all my weekdays free, I think the bins would be more accessible. I probably would hit them for the first hour of the day and then keep sourcing or something. But, you know, I don't as much. Krillin, do you hit the bins a lot? And no problem, Resell Mel. I really appreciate you stopping in. Feel free to ask any other questions or shoot me an email if you're a newer seller and have some questions. Debbie just said she does all retail and no bins. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely preference. Like, I don't think there's a right or wrong approach at all. I think that it's, you know, whatever you prefer. Like, it's got to be fun for you too. Like, I think that's what I'm really adamant about is you need to source the way that you enjoy, because if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to go do it. Krillin just said the bins by him are a great business model. I wish they're closer. All my competitors are literally throwing back live fish. Oh man, Krillin, how far away are they? Is it a decent drive? The clothesline just asked, I'm in Hickory, North Carolina, Luke. Do we have a Savers here? I don't know about Savers. I think we have like the affiliate of Savers, which is Value Village. That's in like the Charlotte and other areas. But definitely check out, I usually use Google Maps, and I'll just type in like thrift store and look at a certain area. And that way I can see every type of thrift store that pops up. That's really how I plan out my sourcing routes. It's nothing too intricate or complex. All right, so we got about 2 minutes. I'm going to wrap up here. I'll take one more question. Hey, Antonio. Hey, Antonio from Australia, correct? Thanks for stopping in. But yeah, I'm going to wrap up here, guys. I do need to ship all this stuff I just shared with you. If you're, you know, just joined the video, you can rewatch after I went through all the things that sold for me this weekend. Hopefully it's insightful and you at least learn a brand or two or something to be on the lookout for the next time you're out sourcing. Really appreciate everyone watching. I have 81 watching live. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to answer Antonio's question real quick, especially since he's from all the way from Australia. I definitely want to honor that question, so feel free. Let it go. Wait. There might be a little delay in the chat. Hi, Murray. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, and just a comment on the bins, by the way. I think for most new sellers, if you have bins accessible to you, I think they should be a part of your sourcing, especially if you're a little low on capital. It's just a really good model to get your inventory up, to get it cheaply, to kind of start to get cash flow going. So like I don't have nothing against the bins. It's just not for me with my current state of my business and what I'm trying to do. Antonio's asking, if you sell an item as used and then the customer uses it, are you still obliged to accept the return? I have heard people say you don't need to accept. So yeah, and you kind of answered for me a little bit there. You said I do accept returns, although just curious. So I'm not sure technically, like if you offer returns as a policy and you give a certain amount of days and you kind of have to accept the return, just they might be obligated to pay return shipping if that's what you highlighted. I mean, technically you always can refuse a return, but I think it's very bad business to refuse the return. I guess my overall recommendation, without getting too technical, is I would just always accept it. I think that there's more long-term value in avoiding the bad feedback and being done with it and not wasting your time on dealing with it to just accept it. So hopefully that makes sense, Antonio. Sorry, it's kind of a blanket, broad answer, but that's really my suggestion. I don't know the technical answer for that because I just have never gone on that avenue. And I don't really want to try to pretend I know for sure because I just don't know the eBay policy. And Destiny, I think, answered there, so thank you. Krillin just said, tip for women especially, if you don't like people, oh, she's on. Yeah, basically Krillin saying if you don't like people bumping into you and getting into your personal space, the bins might not be right for you. So he's right. Be prepared that they roll out these big blue bins, and everyone rushes to them and fights for what's in there, basically. Sometimes there's etiquette, sometimes there's not. Here in Charlotte, it's not that bad. I didn't have any issues both times I went, but I would say just be prepared that it can get a little vicious or just people bumping into you. There's not a lot of personal bubble space at the bins, I guess is the best way. So that's a good tip. And Antonio says, luckily he has 0 returns all year. That's awesome. Well, congrats on 0 returns. Destiny said Goodwill bins equal Black Friday every single day. Yeah, that's a fun way to describe it. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up here. I really appreciate the support. Appreciate you guys dropping in. If you don't mind, hit that like button for me. Really appreciate it. And I'll be back to you guys this week with a couple updates on how the LL Bean order is doing. I am going to do a brand review video this week. A lot of people have been asking me to do another one of those. I haven't in quite a while, so I will fire one of those up for you guys. And please keep dropping comments on content you want to see. Definitely helps me kind of craft my content towards the audience and what will be helpful to you guys. So have an awesome week, guys. Hope you guys had an awesome Memorial Day weekend and you got to enjoy with family and relax and recharge. See you guys.